we take I have a prayer this time, and let's have a prayer. Giselle, kindly lead us a prayer.
Father God, come be with us today. Fill our heart with joy, fill our minds with learning, fill our classroom with peace, fill our lesson with fun, fill our friendship and kindness, fill our school with love.
Amen. Okay, have a seat. So for your attendance, kindly check our attendance, Giselle, then pass it later. So we know the absent and present today. Okay, so let's have a short review for our last topic.
Sir,
Okay, can you give us what was our lesson last topic?
our last topic was all about hazard posed by volcanic eruption and materials extruded by volcanoes.
Okay, very good. So, our lesson for today is all about, can you read, Kenny? What is our lesson for today?
Volcanic activities, tools, and equipment.
Okay, thank you. So our lesson for today is all about volcanic activities, tools, and equipment. So our learning target wants to read. Giselle, can you read? Number 1.
Identify the different types of tools and equipment used in detecting volcanic activities.
Okay, number 2. Can you read, Kenny?
Enumerate those and those.
Why are you laughing?
After volcanic eruption.
Okay, thank you. Have a seat. So volcanic activities, tools, and equipment. So do you have an idea when you hear the word tools and equipment?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, these are gadgets they are using in volcanic activities. So there are two main reasons why scientists want to predict when a volcano might erupt. So who wants to read the first reason? DM?
The first reason should be completely obvious. Scientists would want to predict volcanic eruptions to save the lives of people who might be affected by eruption. The second reason is to learn more about what happened before, during, and after a volcanic eruption.
So always remember that the first reason should be completely obvious. So scientists want to predict volcanic eruptions to save the lives of the people who might be affected by eruptions. So do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, the second reason is, so they want to learn more about what happens before, during, and after a volcanic eruption. So billion of years ago, volcanoes were much more active. Now major volcanic eruptions are rare occurrences. And scientists need to have equipment at the volcano at the right time to study more about why and how volcanoes erupt. So, billion years ago, volcanoes were much active, but they don't have any advanced volcanic tools and equipment on how to study about volcanic eruptions. So today we will have to study what are the tools and equipment they use when a volcano is going to erupt. So these are the different tools and equipment used by scientists in predicting volcanic eruption and detecting volcanic activities. So number 1, who wants to read? DM?
Satellites. Orbiting satellites monitor volcanoes from space, providing local information and signs of possible eruption. Satellites use cameras to provide image and photos. They also provide information from special sensors that can detect heat, sulfur dioxide, and even tiny changes in the shape of the Earth's surface. All of this information can offer clues to whether an eruption in imminent.
Okay, so do you have an idea on what is satellite look like? Okay, so this is kind of satellite they use in detecting some volcanic eruptions. They are located in
Space.
outer space. Okay, so very good. So number 2, seismograph. Kindly read, Kenny.
Seismograph. Measure movement in the planet's crust. Volcanic eruption are closely related to seismic activities that also cause earthquakes and tremors. So seismographs are also often used to monitor volcanoes and as the tectonic plates tripod and slide against each other of move apart. They cause vibrations and tension of violent seismic reading occurs in about it.
So seismograph is basically used by keyboards in detecting earthquakes because we all know that earthquakes can be caused by tectonic plates movement or volcanic eruption. So this is this is the photo of a seismograph so that you have an idea. So what does it look like? So do you know that seismograph is like the apparatus that reading your heartbeat? So maybe we can, maybe I will show you a short video clip later so that you will understand what is the use and function of any tools. So number 3, who wants to read? Tilt meters. Can you read? Sel?
Tilt meters. Similar in spirit levels, tilt meters is positioned on the
And
on ground. A volcanic small container of liquid show much the ground move, and telemeters are to computers monitor ongoing change in the landscape, magma movement, and beneath. The ground can cause visible bulging and hollows to forms discharge of orbital close about volcanic activity under the ground.
so tilt meters is similar to spirit levels. Tilt meters are positioned on and around a volcano. So this is a tilt meter. So they are using it to computers that monitor ongoing changes in the landscape. So these tools are used to monitor the movement of the ground because we all know that if a volcano is going to erupt, there will be an earthquake or movement on the ground. So number 4, who wants to read?
Sorry.
DM.
Gas trapping bottles. Volcanoes emit gases, so measuring gases
Emissions.
emissions around volcanoes can also provide useful information about changes in behavior that could indicate an eruption in the making. The instruments used to do this are typically trapping bottles wherein local air and pumped into containers and then analyzed in lab. As magma moves towards the surface of the earth, the pressure of releases gas. The two most abundant gases are sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. And if levels of these gases increase, it all show that magma is rising to the surface and an eruption is more likely.
Okay, so gas trapping bottles is used to measuring gas emissions around volcanoes, can also provide useful informations about changes in behavior. So what is the two most abundant gases?
Sulfur dioxide and carbon
Can you raise your
dioxide.
hand if you want to answer? Okay, DM.
Sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. Sir.
Okay, so we all know that sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide are dangerous to human health. So if there was a volcanic eruption, so maybe evacuate earlier because these two kinds of gases will be dangerous to human or any life form. Okay, so number 5, can you read, Kenny? Wait. So this is the photo of a
Sulfur.
gas trapping bottles that they are used to determine or study about gas that is, what do we call that one? That is coming out from that volcano. Okay, so number 5, tools. Can you read, Kenny?
COSPEC, correlation spectrometer. This is a remote technique for measuring volcanic gases. So,
Continue.
the device on the tripod is called
Tripod.
tripod is called a COSPEC, which stands for correlation
Spectrometer.
Spectrometer.
So when we say spectrum, this is some kind of colors, specter or spectrum.
It was originally developed for measuring the pollution coming out of factory smokestacks from a distance of a kilometer or so. It makes vertical traverses
True.
through a volcanic plume that is being plume that is being blown
Horizontally.
horizontally by the wind.
Okay, so prospect. So this is the photo of prospect. So it look like an, what do you think, Kenny? Looks like a,
Tambucho.
no, looks like a telescope. That is wait. The use of prospect is a remote technique for measuring volcanic gases. So these tools is also used in measuring volcanic gases like gas trapping bottles. So I will show you a short video so that you will understand more about tools and equipment that is used in volcanic activities. Okay, do you take note every important information, class? Okay, very good. So in order to understand more about what is the title again, tools and equipment used in volcanic activities. Oh, so this is our lesson. Uy! This is a volcanic eruption. So our lesson is already uploaded in YouTube by the Ed. Where is the tools? Maybe we can watch those and those. Okay, so lesson plus meeting. Take note, class. Go lang.
Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are both dangerous. It is really hard to tell.
So maybe we watch do's and don'ts before we discuss.
Safe when there is an earthquake or volcanic eruption. Well, there is no exact answer for that. But what is important is that we know what to do before, during, and after an earthquake or volcanic eruption. Hi there, my name is Terry, and welcome to Science. Today, we are going to learn about the safety precautions before, during, and after an earthquake and volcanic eruptions to lessen its destructive effects to people and properties. First, let's talk about disaster preparedness on earthquake. Let us recall the earthquake that happened in Bohol, Philippines. It was almost 4 times the height of the Mount Everest. That's how deep is the focus of the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that hits Bohol. That earthquake is as strong as 32 Hiroshima atomic bomb.
Hey, did you know about
That's why
atomic
even
bombs?
the focus is deep,
Yes,
it
sir.
results up to intensity 7 of shaking in Bohol and Cebu. The earthquake is also felt in other regions and provinces.
So what are the tools or equipment they use in
minutes
studying earthquake again?
aftershocks. Because of the
Okay.
forceful earthquakes, many old beautiful churches
Seismograph,
got
sir.
Okay,
devastated.
very good.
Houses and structures too. Many vehicles was destroyed. Many people got hurt and died.
7.2.
It brings
So always remember that magnitude 7.3 earthquake is equivalent to 32 Hiroshima atomic bomb.
Preparedness for calamities like earthquakes include knowing what to do before, during, and after an earthquake. Here are the safety precautions before an earthquake. Check the structure of your house or building. Look for potential dangerous things such as steep hill slopes, hanging objects, falling debris, and many more.
Always remember that volcanic eruptions and earthquake are always connected. So if there are an earthquake, maybe there is an volcanic eruption.
Know the routes you will take to get out from the building in case of an earthquake. Find a place where fire extinguishers, first aid kits, alarms, and communication facilities are located. Know how to use the said facilities and equipment. Prepare an emergency plan to cope with the disaster. Have a stock of potable drinking water, flashlight, radio, batteries, spare clothes, and some food packed. You may need this in case of an evacuation. Let's proceed to the next. Now here are the safety precautions during earthquakes. Keep calm when you feel the earthquake. If you are inside a building, go under a desk or table. If you are outside, stay away from the buildings or electric posts or anything that might fall. Do not rush to the exit when you are in a crowded place like a theater, mall, train, or stadium to avoid stampede. If you are in a moving car, ask the driver to stop and park the car away from the buildings, electric wires, or posts. not use elevators during and after an earthquake. You can be stranded inside the elevator if a power failure occurs. If you are residing near a coastal area, always be aware of tsunami. If you feel an earthquake, immediately run to a higher grounds. Now here are the things you need to do after an earthquake. Find a safe place when the earthquake is over. Aftershocks are likely to follow. Check the safety of your family members. If someone is missing or in trouble, seek aid to find them. Do not attempt to cross bridges and overpasses which may have been damaged by the earthquake. Check for fires if there are any. Some damages from the earthquake may result to a fire. In case you see a fire, locate the nearest fire control or alarm unit and use it. Keep yourself updated and alert. Authorities may issue some instructions to reduce the effects of the earthquakes. You know what to do before, during, and after an earthquake. Although let us keep praying that it won't happen. How about a disaster brought by volcanic eruption? If you are living in a place where there is no near volcano, it is still relevant to know the safety precaution for the future. But before we do that, let us recall the 2020 Taal volcano eruption in Batangas. January 12, 2020, Taal volcano erupted, and within just few hours, it was raised from alert level 1 to alert level 4. The volcano releases thick and high smudge, ashes, and small pieces of stones fell from the sky of Batangas. These heavy ashfall reached its neighboring areas such as Cavite, Laguna, and some part of Metro Manila. Vehicles and tourists got stranded, and after that day, the volcano emitted lava and pyroclastic materials. A lot of residents in Batangas evacuated immediately to stay away from the danger and fear brought by the disaster. Everything they saved and their properties are left. Many people lose their livelihood and home. Now here are the safety precautions that you need to remember before a volcanic eruption. Be aware of any unusual volcanic activity. Listen to the radio or people of authority for safety instructions. Prepare emergency supplies like flashlights, candles, matches, and first aid kit. Stock some food and water. Evacuate before volcano erupts. It is not safe to stay at home and wait for the start of an eruption. Doing so is very dangerous.
Don't
Stay
wait to
safe.
don't wait that the volcano
Prepare
will
masks
erupt
for
before
your
you
nose and mouth.
away.
They are to be used in case of an ashfall or volcanic smog.
So, trivia class, do you know what is the longest word in science?
No,
Oh.
sir.
So the longest word in science has 45 letters, and it is pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. So I will write. So the pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is a lung disease that might get from the volcanic ash. So
Sir,
it is permanent. So the longest word is I value is one word with 45 letters, and it's written that new. So that is the longest word in science, pneumonia ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. That is a disease, a lung disease that might get from volcanic ash. So if there was a volcanic eruption, so you maybe get that lung disease when you inhale volcanic ashes. So let's continue.
Now, here are the safety precautions that you need to remember during a volcanic eruption. Stay indoors. Cover your nose with a mask or duck coat when volcanic ash or dust is present in the air. Keep your food and water covered. Stay away from low places. Rocks, lava, and mud flows are likely to flow toward low-lying areas. Stay in the evacuation center. Avoid going back to the house while the volcano is erupting. Now, here are the safety precautions that you need to remember after a volcanic eruption. After the eruption, do not go back home right away. Wait for the instructions on when it is safe to return home. Avoid crossing a bridge when the hard flows is under it. Remove ash from your roofs. Ashfall can cause roofs to collapse. Check if your drinking water is clear and if the electrical wirings at home are intact and safe. If you have respiratory ailments, stay indoors to avoid inhaling dust and ash. Seek advice if it is safe to go outside. Now you know what to do before, during, and after an earthquake and volcanic eruption. Let us see if you really learned something and answer the online quiz in the description.
Okay. So do you understand what is the safety precautions
Yes.
before, during, and after an earthquake and volcanic eruption?
sir.
Okay. Okay, so let us continue our lesson. So before we proceed to do's and don'ts of precautions in volcanic eruption, so let us answer these exercises. So number 1, can you read DM?
What are the two main reasons why scientists want to predict when a volcano might erupt?
So who wants to answer? Any idea? Okay. Okay, so who wants to answer number 1?
Two reasons, sir?
Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay,
Sir.
Kenny, can you read?
the first reason should be completely obvious. Scientists want to predict volcanic eruption to save the lives of people who might be affected by eruption. The second reason is to learn more about what happens before, during, and after volcanic eruption.
Okay, very good. Can you give Kenny a round of applause? Okay, so number 2, can you read, Giselle?
List down the different tools and equipment used by scientists in predicting volcanoes eruption and detecting volcanic activities.
Sir!
Okay, can you give one?
Sir!
Okay, Kenny.
Seismograph.
Okay, very good.
Satellites.
Okay, can you give one example, DM?
Sir.
Okay.
Satellites.
Okay, very good. Giselle, can you give one?
Sir,
Millimeters.
millimeters.
Okay, number 4.
Sir.
Okay.
Gas trapping battles.
And last,
Sir!
okay, Kenny.
Prospect.
Okay, very good. So, what is the meaning of prospect again?
Sir.
Correlation spectrometer.
Okay, can you stand up if you want to answer?
Correlation spectrometer.
Okay, very good. So, I think you understand and you learn what is our first lesson. So, let's move to do's and don'ts before, during, and after volcanic eruptions. So, the video we watch is about precautions before, during, and after earthquake and volcanic eruptions. So, let's move to do's and don'ts. So, a volcanic eruption may involve lava and other debris that can flow up to 100 miles per hour, so destroying everything in their path. The volcanic ash can travel 100 seconds of miles and cause severe health problems in volcanic eruption. Okay? So, what is the... Can you give one? What is a volcano can cause severe health problems? So, what is the... as I said before, what is the longest word in science? Okay, Kenny. Okay, so...
Yung monoltra may cross big silly ball.
So the one of the lung disease that might get or might get from volcanic ash is the pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. So my teacher before told that pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is the longest word in science, so always remember that. There are many longest word in science and English, but they don't consider that. So maybe you can search about Titin. That was it consists about 900 or 1000 letters in one word, but it is too long to consider the longest word. So maybe you can search about it. The name is it is a protein that called titin. Okay, so do's and don'ts before, during, and after volcanic eruption. So once to read number 1, DM, can you read?
Contaminate water supplies.
Okay, Giselle, continue reading.
Damage machinery.
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 Okay, number 3, Kenny.
Reduce visibility, road smog, and harmful gas that may threaten low-lying areas.
And number 4, DM.
Make it hard to breathe and irritate the skin, eyes, nose, and throat.
So what are the steps in decreasing the casualties during this phenomenon? Okay, DM, can you give one?
Listen for emergency information and alert.
Okay, Kenny, can you
Good.
continue reading?
Follow evacuation of shelter order if advised to evacuate them. Do so early. Avoid the area downstream of the
Okay,
eruption.
continue.
Protect yourself from falling ash. Do not drive in heavy ash.
Okay, so these are the steps in decreasing casualties during volcanic eruption. So how to stay safe when a volcano threatens? Okay, so prepare now. Can you read? DM.
Know your area's risk from volcano eruption.
Continue.
Ask local emergency management for evacuation and shelter plans and for potential means of protection from ash. Learn about community warning system by signing up for free service called the Volcano National Service
That sense.
that sends
Sorry.
notifications about volcano activity. Get necessary supplies in advance in case you have to evacuate immediately or if service are cut off. Keep in mind each person's specific needs including medication. Practice communication and evacuation plan with everyone in your family.
Okay, so the most important thing in how to save when volcano threatens is this is free. You can sign for free Volcano National Service so that you are updated when you are updated because it sends notifications about volcanic activity. So how to stay safe when a volcano threatens during, can you read Giselle?
Listen to alert the volcano notification service provide up-to-date information about eruption.
Continue.
Follow evacuation orders for local authorities. Evacuate early. Avoid areas downwind and river valley
Stream.
downstream of the volcano. Rubble ash will be carried by wind and gravity. Take temporary shelters from volcanic ash if you have enough supplies. Cover ventilation, opening the sealed doors and windows. If outside, protect yourself from falling ash and can irritate your skin and injure breathing passages and open wounds.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful reading, Giselle. So what shall we do to be safe after? Okay, can you read, Kenny?
Sir,
Can you read?
listen to authorities to find out when it is the return after an eruption. Send text message or use social media to reach out to family.
Wait, you can read it slowly but surely. No, do not rush. Okay, so continue. Send text messages.
Send text.
Okay, DM, can you continue reading?
Send text message or use social media to reach out to family and friends. Phone systems are often busy after a disaster. Only emergency calls. Avoid during and
Driving.
driving in heavy ash. Driving will stir up volcano ash that can include engines and stall vehicles. If you have any
Ulit, seryoso gawin na.
Tapos ko pala dito.
pipigil na kayo katawa.
Kalamutan.
Kaya mo nakakatawa niyo.
Mas basa tayo nag-group.
Isip. Tuloy nyo. Okay, continue. DM.
Avoid driving in heavy ash. Driving will stir up volcanic ash that can include engines and diesel vehicles. If you have any braking problems, avoid contact with ash. Stay indoors until authorities say it's safe to go outside. Do not get on your raft to remove ash unless you have or training. If you have to remove ash, they very careful in the ash mixer. Kasi nagkaroon mo.
No, ulit.
Ulit down na ta.
Game.
Okay, ulit. Okay, so what shall we do to be safe after? Okay, can you read
Sir,
DM?
be safe after. Listen to authorities to find out when it is safe to return after an eruption. A volcanic and ash can clog engines.
Okay, so what shall we do to be safe after? Can you read, Giselle?
Listen authorities and find out when it's safe to return after eruption. Send text, message, and use social media to reach out family and friends. Phone systems are often busy or disaster only emergency calls. Avoid driving in heavy ash. Driving will stir up volcanic ash that can clog engines and stall vehicles. If you have any breathing problems, avoid contact with ash. Stay indoors until authorities say it is safe to go outside. Do not get in your roof to remove unless
So what are the lessons you have learned from our discussion for today?
I have learned these lessons all about. Sir, our lesson for today was all about programming activities, tools, and equipment. Okay.
Okay, so what are the lessons you have learned from our discussion for today?
Sir,
Okay, DM.
sir, our lesson for today was all about volcanic activities, tools, and equipments.
Okay, so class, there are two main reasons why scientists want to predict when a volcano might erupt. The first reason should be completely obvious. So scientists want to predict volcanic eruptions to save the lives of people who might be affected by the eruption. And the second reason is to learn more about what happens before, during, and after a volcanic eruption. Okay, so is that clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any question from our topic today?
None, sir.
Answer.
Okay, so let's have a short quiz, class, to test your mind and knowledge about our lesson for today. Okay, so can we bring out 1/4 sheet of paper? So okay, so I will give you maybe 5 minutes to answer 5 questions. So 1 minute for one question. Okay. Your time begins now. And we will answer it after you finish answering our quiz.
Sir, done.
So class, have you experienced volcanic eruptions? So we are all the same, but have you experienced earthquake?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Because we are lucky, we do, in our locations there is no much active volcanoes. Okay, so are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Can you exchange paper? Then, as I call you, you will answer the answer of your classmate. Then we will check. So, can we write corrected by?
yes, sir, done.
Okay, so number 1, who wants to
Sir.
read and answer? Okay, DM.
Provide information from special sensors that can detect heat, sulfur dioxide, and even tiny changes in the Earth's surface.
So, what is the answer of your
Sir,
classmate?
the answer of my classmate is satellite, sir.
Okay, very good. So, it provides information from special sensors. It can detect heat, sulfur dioxide, and even tiny changes. So, the correct answer is satellites.
Satellites.
So, number 2, Kenny, can you read and answer?
Measures movements in the planet's crust.
So, what is the answer of your classmate?
Seismograph sensor.
Okay, very good. So it measures movements in the planet's crust. So that tools are called seismograph. So number 3. Okay, Giselle, can you answer and read?
A small container of liquid show how much the ground moves.
Okay, so what is the answer of your classmate?
Centimeters, sir.
Okay, very good. So number 4, BM, can you answer and read? Can you read and answer? Sorry.
Provide useful information about changes in the behavior that could indicate an interruption in the making. Third answer for classmate is gas wrapping bottle.
Okay, so very good. Gas trapping battles is useful information. I provide useful information about changes in the behavior that could indicate an interruption in the making. So last question.
Sir,
Okay, Kenny, can you read and answer?
This is a remote technique from measuring volcanic
So what is the answer of your classmate?
cosmic.
So what is the meaning of COSPEC again?
Cosmic is
sir,
Any?
correlation spectrometer.
Okay, so when we say COSPEC, it is correlation spectrometer, a remote technique for measuring volcanic gases. Okay, so who got perfect scores?
Sir,
Okay, very good. Okay, so any question? Is there any question about our lesson for today?
none, sir.
Okay, so if there's no question, can you read your assignment? Okay, who wants to read? Okay, DM, can you read?
Assignment. For your assignment, kindly search or advance reading on what is the benefits of a volcano.
Okay, so for your assignment, can you search or advanced reading on what is the benefits of a volcano? So do you believe that volcano has a benefit? Do you believe,
Sir?
class, that volcano has a benefit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so volcano is not only negative, will give.
Sir, I have a reclamation. Our classmate is squad. Tignan niyo po.
It's okay. Okay, so any questions or buoyant reactions about our lesson for today?
None, sir.
Okay, so well, if there's no questions, that's all for today. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you for teaching us.